So this video today is an algebra review. We're going to talk about slope and the equations of lines. So slope is the measure of the steepness and direction of a line. So slope is equal to rise over run. That's the vertical change over the horizontal change, which is why we do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I want to talk to you about a couple things with respect to slope. So if the slope rises, if the line rises from left to right, this is always going to be a positive slope, okay? So we're going to put a plus there. And if the line falls from left to right, it's going to be a negative slope. Now, if the line is a horizontal line, then it's going to have a slope of 0. And if it's a vertical line, it's going to have a slope of undefined. And we're going to talk about this in the lesson. But I just wanted you guys to remember that these are things that you should already know, okay? Maybe you don't remember, but you should know, okay? So, this is find the slope of each line. To do that, we're going to do rise over run. Now, the first thing I want to do is look at this and make a prediction. I predict that the slope is going to be positive because the line's rising from left to right. So we're going to count how far up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how far over? 1, 2, 3, 4, this is. So the slope of this line, 7/4, positive. That's what we expected, right? So now on this next one, I can't go up or down. I could go left or right. Isn't that true? I can't, there's no vertical change. Okay, so if there's no vertical change, that's going to be 0. And we're going to divide that by, if we just pick 2 points on the line, it would be just 4, right? So it's 0 divided by any number is what? 0, right? So the slope of this line is 0. So our next one here, this one's falling from left to right, okay, and this one's vertical. So let's see if you guys can figure these out. Pause the video, come back to me when you're done. So here again, I'm going to count how far it is for me to get from one point to the other. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3 down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that reduces to be negative 1/3, right? So that is our slope there. Now on number 2, this time there is vertical change, right? So we could do the same thing we did last time, which is to pick 2 points that are on here. So let's just do 3 minus a minus 3, right? So that would be, actually we should just count it, right? Can't we just count that? 6, that's a change of 6. But this time we're going to divide by 0 because there is no horizontal change, right? So we're doing 6 divided by 0. Well, guess what happens when you do that in a calculator? It comes up with an error message. So the slope for a vertical line is undefined because you cannot divide by 0, okay? All right, so this one says find the slope between each pair of points. So this time we're going to label these x1, y1, x2, y2. And we're going to use our formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay, so let's just plug those numbers in there. So we got 3 minus 1 divided by 4 minus 1. So that's going to give us 2/3, right? Positive slope of 2/3. Again, same thing here. x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to do negative 2 minus 4 divided by 10 minus a minus 2. Okay, so anytime you have a minus minus, remember you're going to change that to plus. And that's a common error that that's a common thing people forget, okay? So this is going to give us negative 6 over 12. So if one of the terms is negative, then the whole term stays negative. If both are negative, it becomes positive, right? Because it's negative divided by a negative. And we know that 6 is half of 12, so this is going to be 1/2, but the whole slope is going to be negative. All right, so go ahead and do this. You try, and then come back to me when you're done. x1, y1, x2, y2. So this is going to be negative 5 minus 5. Divided by negative 8 minus a minus 4. Remembering again, if you got two negatives next to each other, they're going to turn into a positive, right? So that's going to be negative 10. Negative 8 plus 4 would be negative 4. Now notice we have a negative over a negative, don't we? So that's going to make this whole term positive. So this is, and it reduces by 2, right? So negative 10 divided by 2 is 5, and negative 4 divided by 2 is 2. So our slope here is going to be 5/2. Next one, I'm reminding you guys what the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line is. Linear equations are frequently written in this form, right? So y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Very important. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So it says, given the slope and y-intercept of a line, write the equation in slope-intercept form. So this one's pretty easy. So we're using the equation y equals mx plus b, right? So our slope is equal to our m and our y-intercept is equal to our b, okay? So we're just going to say y is equal to 2x minus 1. Pretty easy, okay? Let's see if you guys can do it on you try 4. Pause the video, do it, and come back to me when you're done. So once again, this is our m, this is our b. Our equation is y is equal to mx plus b. So we're saying y is equal to negative 3/5 x plus 4. Okay? All right, now, on this next one, we are going to now write the equation given the points on the line. So we can find the slope and the y-intercept. So to find the slope, we're going 1, 2, 3 up. So m is equal to 3 up and 1 over, right? So isn't that equal to 3? And then our y-intercept right here is right there. So this is our origin. So we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. So b is equal to negative 4. So here again, we're just using our equation. Y is equal to mx plus b. And we're just substituting in those values. Y is equal to 3x minus 4. Okay? So go ahead and do the you try 5. Pause the video and come back to me when you're done. Okay, so on this one, again, we're going to count. I'm going to count from this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 down, right? Negative 6 over 1, 2, 3, 4 over 4. So that reduces. So that's going to be negative 3/2. Negative 3/2. And it is falling from left to right, so that makes sense that our slope is negative, yes? Okay, now let's figure out what our y-intercept is again. It's right here. So if we count up from the origin, that is 1. Let's do it in green. Here's our origin, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So b is equal to 7. So when we write our equation of our line, it's going to be y is equal to negative 3/2 x plus 7. Okay. So our next concept says write the equation of the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. Write your final answer in slope-intercept form. Okay, so everybody listen. So on this one, we're going to label x, y, and the slope, okay? So we're going to say this is our x, this is our y, and this is our m, right? So our equation is y is equal to mx plus b. So we're just going to substitute everything in, and we're going to actually solve for that b. Okay, so our y is 1, our m is 2, our x is 4, and we're going to solve for that b. So this is 1 equals 8 plus b. How do we get rid of that 8? We subtract it from both sides. So negative 7 equals b. Now we're going to write the equation by substituting back in b and the slope. So y is equal to 2x minus 7. Okay? All right, let's see if you guys can do the you try. Come back to me when you're done. So once again, I'm going to label this x, y, and this m. We're using our equation y equals mx plus b. So we're going to do 4 equals 1/2 of 2 plus b. So what's half of 2? It's 1, right? 4 equals 1 plus b. So now we're going to subtract that 1 from both sides. So b is equal to 3. So once again, we're just going to substitute in the slope and b. So y is equal to 1/2 x plus 3. Does that make sense? Okay, a couple more, guys. So now it says standard form. Linear equations can be written in standard form. Equations written in standard form can be converted to slope-intercept form by solving for y. So all of these equations here for examples 9 and 10, and you try 7 and 8, are written in what's called standard form, where the x's and the y's are on the left side of the equal sign and the constants on the right, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to move everything but y to the other side of the equal sign. And we're going to do that just by using our simple algebra skills. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides here. So that's going to give me y is equal to negative 2x plus 3. Now, if it asks us to pull the slope, we can do that, right? Because our equation for is y is equal to mx plus b, right? So what is m? M equals our slope, which in this case equals negative 2. And our y-intercept is our b, so that's y-intercept, right? So that is right there, right? So that's going to be is equal to 3, okay? So go ahead and do the you try underneath here, the you try 7, and come back to me when you're done. So on this one, we're going to subtract x, right? So you're going to subtract x from both sides. So this is going to give you negative 3y equals negative x plus 12. Now this time, we're going to have to divide everything by negative 3, aren't we? This one's a little tricky, but not too bad. So this is y is equal to, remember, a negative over a negative. So this is actually going to be 1/3, because remember, there's actually a 1 in front of that x. And then 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4, right? So here again, our slope is what's in front of that x. It's our m. That's equal to 1/3. And our y-intercept is this right here. It's our b. So that's equal to negative 4. Okay? All right, now we're going to do this next one together. A little more practice, right? So we're going to move the 4x to the other side. So that leaves us 5y is equal to negative 4x minus 30. Now this time we're going to divide everything by 5, right? So that's going to give us y is equal to negative 4/5 x minus 6. Once again, our slope is in front of our x, so slope is equal to negative 4/5, and our y-intercept is that b, right? So it's whatever we're adding and subtracting at the end. It's a constant, basically. And that's equal to negative 6. All right, let's see if you guys can do this last one and come back to me when you're done. So I'm going to subtract this 3x from both sides. So that gives me negative 2y is equal to negative 3x minus 14. Then I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. Now remember, when you divide a negative by a negative, you get a positive, right? So this is going to be y is equal to 3/2 x plus 7, okay? So here again, our slope is equal to 3/2, and our y-intercept is equal to 7.